Welcome one and all to another edition of the Defo Show with Lubie here on the 5 Reasons Sports Network, brought to you by Water Cleanup of Florida. It was a dry weekend down here in South Florida, thank goodness, but you may have noticed some spots here or there in your home, which could mean you have a leak. Don't let the leak grow. Don't let the leak become an issue. Leak detection is key. Water Cleanup of Florida is your place to go if you have any leak issues, whether it's your home or your business. Just call them, 954-579-0356, for immediate assistance. With over 60 years of combined experience between Michael, Robert, and their team, they handle all types of leak detection issues 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And because they are licensed and insured and certified, not only will they clean up the area, not only will they dry it, restore it, but after the fact, they'll make it look good as new as well. They service Miami, Broward, and Palm Beach counties. Again, reach them, Michael, directly on his personal cell phone, 954-579-0356. That's 954-579-0356. Or visit website at wcufl.com. Check them out on the socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at WaterCleanupFL. And head over to Google if you don't want to take my word for it. We know Google doesn't lie. 70-plus 5-star reviews will let you know just how good Water Cleanup of Florida is. Water Cleanup of Florida, if you have the schmutz, we have the guts. We are hoping the Miami Dolphins have the guts. My Florida State Seminoles, the Canes, the Gators, got off to good starts this weekend, college football-wise. Will the Dolphins get off to a good start this season? They welcome the Patriots to town. Defo and I talked about that. Then we welcomed Jason Cole, longtime NFL insider, now with Outkick.com as an NFL writer, doing a lot of stuff with them, talking football. We talked a lot about the Miami Dolphins today. Defo, myself, and Jason Cole right here on the Defo Show with Lubie on the 5 Reasons Sports Network.
Makes sense, right? I mean, would you not want to be here and get at least acclimated to the conditions, have a week's worth of practice? You had a week off, pretty much, from the last preseason game, which you were paying no attention to anything in the preseason anyway, and come down here, and usually they would leave like the day before the game, show up here on Saturday, go to a hotel, get something to eat, go out to the stadium, and they're going to be here from today on, getting ready. Belichick making a little move here to try and get ready for what he's going to be facing at Hard Rock Stadium on Sunday. The Dolphins are 3-point favorites in that ball game. I think deservedly so. We're optimistic that the Dolphins are going to do well this year. I believe they will beat the Patriots. I think they'll handle the Patriots in this game. But you never know, right? I mean, you just never know. How disappointing, how deflating would that be if they looked bad? Couldn't get anything going on offense. Mike McDaniel melts down on the sidelines there and starts actually openly sobbing and weeping in the third quarter. What am I doing here? My whole life.
That's my
Belichick just outfoxes him at every turn, every play. He's got his number. I mean, it's an interesting thing to go. Even Belichick. Would you rather have Belichick coaching a team with inferior players, or McDaniel, coaching your team with what looks to be on paper better players?
People are going to say probably the former. I would look. To me, you'd always rather have the talent. But the guy's never coached a game, so you don't know.
Against Belichick, right? I mean, Bill's, he doesn't miss much.
No.
Say what you will. I mean, the cheating and all of that, okay. And the fact that he seems, so indifferent to the media and not even indifferent. I mean, belligerent.
No, I'm angry.
Essentially. But don't let that, influence you. The guy, I mean, he doesn't miss anything, so he's going against a rookie coach. I don't know, how big of an edge does that give you, or does it give you any kind of advantage at all, having the far superior coach at this point in time? However good McDaniel is going to develop to be, he isn't anywhere near Belichick right now. There's no question about it. I mean, the guy's got, 6 Super Bowl rings and, 100 years of experience. He's worked with Saban and Parcells and all of these guys. I mean, come on, friends with Jimmy. And you got a guy that's never coached a game in the NFL before.
Thank you.
Giant edge. I mean, when they check those boxes, rushing game, special teams.
Coaching.
I mean, there are like quadruple checks in the Belichick box. Now, is he that far behind in talent? I don't know. Is Mac Jones better than Tua Tagovailoa? It's possible. You don't think so,
No.
but I think that's still very much debatable. At this point, I would give the edge to Mac Jones. He's proven more, I think, in his rookie season than Tua has in the 2-3 years he's been in the league. How long has Tua been in? 2 years.
He started a little over one season because remember he missed half the first season, and then last year he missed 4 games. So
so this is his 3rd year. He should be starting to figure it out. I believe that he will be figuring it out, and I think that McDaniel can create some kind of an offense that takes advantage of all of this speed that he has on the outside there. Well, I mean, Waddle and Tyreek Hill, that would be a scary combination for any team to face. Waddle's health was somewhat in question. I'm not sure where he stands right now. Well, what did he have? An ankle injury that was hampering him throughout training camp and the preseason. But at full speed with Hill on the other side, that's a dynamic combo. I don't know what happened with Gesicki. He's in and out of favor, like almost on a daily basis. Gesicki. One day they're trading him, the next day, he's going to be the next great one. But a dynamite pass catching tight end, no doubt.
Well, they also have doubled down on the fact that they're not trading him, and they were very outspoken about it, and they worked him into the last preseason game. And we know he and Tua have a good rapport, so he's not a good blocker, and this offense asks the tight ends to block. So I don't know how you work through that, but he's a good pass catcher, so there's got to be a way to work him into the offense.
I had a high school coach many years ago when I first started, writing sports for the Fontana Herald News, a guy named Dick Bruick. And he suggested to me an article that we should do an analysis of what exactly is the tight end position. And he compared it to a knight on a chessboard, which, because it's capable of these awkward movements. Like it can go straight ahead, but then it goes sideways. I mean, you have to be able to do a couple of things. You have to be a little bit of a hybrid there. And be nice. I don't know. All tight ends that can't block always say, you know what? I've been working on my blocking. So does that help with Gesicki, or do they just throw in the towel on that? I don't know.
They're trying to teach him how to block. If he hasn't started blocking yet, this is 3rd or 4th year in the NFL. That's when you start blocking.
It's like if you're a lousy defensive player in basketball, maybe you're just used to putting up token pressure because all you really want to do is get on the other side of things, grab the ball and shoot. Not that I'm speaking from experience. And you may think that you're like a decent defensive player, but the truth is your guy's scoring almost every time. They're going at you. I at least boxed my man out. That was about it. But token pressure. But the point was, if you're lousy at defense, say, in something like basketball, you rarely see that guy become a really good defensive player. I mean, it's not like it doesn't happen where a guy improves defensively and maybe has a bad rap because early in his career he couldn't guard his grandmother. But you rarely see somebody become a stalwart defensive player that sucked at it to begin with.
Yes.
And that's probably true about the tight end and blocking. I mean, how often does it happen? If anybody can think of examples, I'm sure there are some. But of a tight end who just absolutely was getting annihilated by any defensive lineman or arrangement that worked against him and had to be taken off the field there in running situations or where you didn't want to make it obvious that it was a passing down, which, actually becomes fairly obvious in most circumstances anyway, right?
Yeah.
They ran the ball there on 3rd and 9. What are you kidding me? Way to go, Joe Philbin.
Yeah,
that really caught him off guard.
Exactly.
Run the ball right up the middle there on a draw play.
Caught him off guard because it was a horrible call.
The draw play on 3rd and long is one of the bigger concession calls, is it not? Where you're just conceding.
Yes.
We're not getting the first down here, but we don't want to fumble the football like FSU did. That was horrible, man. I mean, and then with 1 second to go, oh my God. Weekend was loaded with stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We certainly did. You have, as we said, a very, very exciting week on tap here. More college football as that story unfolds. Jeff DeForest, Mike Lubie, it's the Defo Show here. Good to have you on our various platforms, and always a pleasure to welcome this gentleman to the program. A man of great distinction now in the filmmaking category, but I really have to give him a lot of extra props for, if it is true what Lubie is sending me on the message board here, that Jason Cole is on the West Coast and is actually up at 5:20 in the morning to do this interview. Jason, I mean, that is beyond mensch-like. Thanks so much for joining us here on the show.
It's how dedicated I am to you. That's what it's all about.
We appreciate it.
That is great. I mean, we love having you on. And now with Outkick.com, I mean, forget Al Gore. Nobody's had more influence over the internet than Jason Cole and the variety of different projects he's been involved with over the years. Each one has turned out to be a gem, and he was always spearheading the movement. Outkick.com. Tell us a little bit about that, Jason, real quick. What are the fans going to find there?
Yeah, I'm doing like three, 4 columns a week for them, and working with my old buddy Armando Salguero, and so it's I love it. It's a nice, consistent gig, and they love what they want. They want football. The more, the better, and that's what we're there for. It's a very interesting place. I will say that.
I don't think Defo understands Outkick.
I'm not familiar with it.
Okay,
That's
so Clay Travis, who was great at college football, is the founder of it. That Clay Travis who now took over the Rush Limbaugh show. That Clay Travis. So it's an interesting place.
Right, and it was also it's owned by Fox, and so they put a lot into it and trying to develop the site, kind of an answer to ESPN, and challenging them. So we got a really nice crew of football writers. Doug Kleiman, Armando's at the head of that. I'm one of those guys. So we're taking it pretty seriously. I gotta tell you that.
Either you or Armando would be well equipped to answer this question, because we're trying to figure it out ourselves here on the show. And the Dolphins open up Sunday against the New England Patriots. During which quarter will we hear the first, rumblings of a "We Want Bridgewater" chant? Jason Cole, you're familiar with the fans down here, and Armando's witnessed this forever. Is that going to be an issue this year, in your opinion?
Teddy Bridgewater? I mean, look, Teddy's nice.
No, I mean, with the dissatisfaction with Tua, obviously, would be, the illusion there. Is that going to pop up?
I get it. I don't think that's going to happen in game one, because I think they're going to win this game. I think they're going to win this game pretty handily. I don't think, number one, I don't think New England is very good. I also don't think New England is very good this early in the season. I don't think New England, despite the fact that they're getting to South Florida, what is it, today? Yeah. To get, quote unquote, acclimated to the heat. Yeah. I mean, no, it takes 2 years to get acclimated to South Florida.
I don't think you ever get acclimated to it. You just can sneeze to the schwitz.
No, you just the schwitz thing is you're just like, I'm going to schwitz. I need 4 shirts. It's ridiculous. There's nothing that can condition you to the idea that you're going to play some full-on force activity at 1 p.m. in the afternoon on a Sunday in South Florida. Like, human beings are not supposed to do that.
No.
So, if you're in New England, I mean, even if you're a Dolphins player, it's not a comfortable thing. But at least you know what to expect. There's just no way. That New England's going to be ready for this after, we got 5 extra days of training and kind of heat. You're not ready for it. You might as well just come down. You're better off flying at 6 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, getting off,
game
saying, okay, we have to endure this. Let's get back on the plane afterwards and just go. That's really actually the better plan.
You start feeling ringing death as soon as you get off the plane there, and you're not even into the entranceway that connects you to the actual airport there.
So you're on the jetway. Yeah, you're on a jetway.
Exactly.
Yeah, you feel death on a jetway. Right, you really do.
It's like a blast. You're like, what the hell?
Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Like, you get off the plane and
absolutely.
The doors open and you go through that jetway, and because it just captures all of the humidity in the jetway, and you were just like, I'm going to die. I'm going to die.
Sucks the life right out of you, right there.
Right, yeah, right there in the jetway. You don't have to even get out into the sun. But once you get out into the sun, it's ridiculous. Yeah. Now, I looked it up. Yeah. Now, the Dolphins, somehow, some way, and some of this has to do in 2019 when they were tanking, or sort of tanking but not tanking, but whatever. They got off to an 0-7 start. They were 0-3 that September at home, and they were all 1 o'clock starts.
Yeah.
So they've actually lost 5 straight 1 o'clock starts. But if you go back to the history of the Dolphins since they joined the NFL, they're 29-12.
Yeah.
So here's your little gambling
nugget.
Thank you for bringing it to that.
They're 29-12 at 1 p.m. on a Sunday.
Nice.
In their history. Now, a lot of that has to do with they had good teams, right? Those the greasy teams, the Marino teams. They had good teams, a lot of that. But a lot of it also has to do with the life-sucking force that is humidity at 1 o'clock on a Sunday in September in South Florida. Like it's a cruel, cruel beast. Even October's not so great, especially early October. No. But yeah. I mean, and here's the other thing: the NFL intentionally doesn't even try to schedule that many 1 o'clock Sunday games. The fact is, they've only had 41 in 52 years. That just tells you how unpopular playing at 1 o'clock on a Sunday in Miami is. It's so terrible.
I used to do those announcements pregame on the field there. And I remember one day, and I think the Dolphins were playing the Buffalo Bills in September. And you used to come down there in the field, I guess, for the post-game interviews before the game was over. But I was standing in a spot, and it hadn't quite hit 1 o'clock yet. I think we were, introducing the anthem singer. And, you could have passed out, and they had that little thermometer down there in the field. And it was 120 on the field. And I remember the Bills, I mean, you could see them just melting down in the fourth quarter in that game, literally, schwitzing themselves to death.
Oh, I remember Ted Washington. You remember Ted Washington?
Yeah, the great lineman
from Buffalo.
Yeah.
So, he would just ragdoll Tim Ruddy. I mean, I felt bad for Tim Ruddy. He would go up, if it was any other month and they were playing or if they were playing in Buffalo, Tim Ruddy would just have the longest day of the year. Because here comes this, here's what Ted Washington's 6'5", 7,000 pounds, and he's all muscle and he just throws people around. Yeah. But I remember they played one of those September games in the late 90s. It was when Jimmy was coaching, but they played one of them. And by the early part of the fourth quarter, the only thing that Ted Washington could do was stand up out of his stance, put his hands upright. Ruddy would put his hands out, and they would just stand there. They just looked like Ted Washington would not move. I swear to God, I saw that.
Great.
I swear to God that he didn't even move. So Tim, it was the easiest block. I could have blocked Ted Washington at that moment because he was just so done. And so that's why I say, to get back to your original point about Tua, they're gonna win on Sunday. I think that everybody's gonna be hyped up. They'll throw the ball to Tyreek. They'll get some big plays out of Waddle. He's built to have wide receivers like this. These guys will help him out. They will make him look good enough in this game that nobody's going to complain on this game. In fact, he might play well enough that everybody thinks he's the savior, which is to be determined. Okay, I don't think this is a game that you judge whether Tua is the answer or not, because anybody who plays quarterback for them is going to be okay. I think that would be my prediction. So we'll see how it goes. Again, the caveats all apply to Tua because for what we've seen for the first 2 years is okay, not great, but I'd like to give the kid a chance.
I'm with you on that, and I believe he is going to look good. And I don't know if you're inclined to take some of that, early money that you got for the script, but I'm with you. I think the Dolphins win this game handily. I believe 3 points is too small of a spread, and if I was inclined to go ahead and make a wager, I probably would put my money on the Phins and lay the 3.
If you were inclined to make a wager. If.
I'm trying to turn over a new leaf here at 71.
That's like no. You are gambling's version of that. mean the most. Okay, let's just put it that way. You get up out of bed going, all right, what's the odds? You know,
Honestly,
what's
yes.
the odds? Do I go over easy or do I scramble? What's the lay of line on this one? You know, like that's what you are, Defo. You are inclined to make a bet on this game.
Yeah, who's got rye toast? Lubie's got something for you. Jason Cole with us here now with Outkick.com. You can catch his columns there. And, always good stuff coming from Jason Cole. What do you have, Lube?
Well, we've talked to you about this, and it's just as this offseason's gone on, and we've gotten close to the season, it still persists. The Mike McDaniel factor is very interesting to me, especially since Defo brought up Brian Flores and just a long line of coaches that sort of had no personality or were sort of lame or even gruff in Flores' case. McDaniel is just totally different. It feels like in every sense of the word. Plus, people do trust his football sense. I'm curious, what are your run-ins? I know you've been on the Out West, you're Out West now with Mike McDaniel, and your thoughts on him as this new age coach that still supposedly knows the game pretty well.
I have never actually met him personally.
Oh, interesting.
I've talked to a lot of people who know him, but I don't know him personally. I see look, the stuff is kind of cute and fun, and that's fine. It's always good to have a coach that will answer questions and talk and do all those kinds of things. But it's all great when you haven't won or lost a game.
Yeah.
Let's see, what it's like when they're actually playing games and when things don't go right and how he handles that. And more importantly, is he actually a good coach? What I would really like to know is how seriously do the players take him, in the big room? And when I say the big room, I'm talking about, in front of the 53. But Joe Philbin was a very nice man. And seemed pleasant to be around. When he stood up in front of 53, he didn't have any presence. Cam Cameron, seemed like an intelligent, interesting interview for a while, and then started to lose and went crazy, and then he was terrible in front of the big room. He's the kind of guy who's only good talking to quarterbacks. There are a lot of demands on this job, and the biggest one is, can you stand up in front of a large group of men and make them believe what you're selling, and know what you're doing, and be consistent, all those kinds of things, and that gets tested in a lot of ways. How do you react when players do certain things? How do you react after losses? How do you react after wins? Right now everything's rosy. And I think McDaniel is a very smart guy. I think they're going to run the ball very well. I like the running back that they brought in. I like getting Tyreek Hill for that. All those things are positives. But let's see how it goes when, they lose a game.
Let's see how
it goes. Let's see how it goes when the defensive lineman, whoever your crazy defensive lineman or linebacker is, like the Joey Porter, tractor trailer, Keith Trailer. One of those guys stands up and tells you to go F yourself. How do you handle that guy? Because that happens. This is an alpha male environment. It is the most alpha male environment I think you'll ever find. And all those alpha males are testing that head coach to see how he handles being or not being an alpha male. And like Joe Philbin and Cam Cameron could not do it. They just couldn't. They couldn't stand up to that. I mean, Cam Cameron, it's almost comical what Joey Porter and Keith Trailer did to him. But it ended up being really, really ugly. They couldn't handle him at all, and that was the undoing of Cam Cameron. I mean, aside from the fact they won 1 or 15.
Yeah, losing like his first 15 games probably didn't help either.
Yeah, that's a bigger problem because even the fans didn't like it. But he just, like Jimmy Johnson went 1 or 15 his first year as a head coach, and survived it because everybody in that room knew that dude's in charge, and he's clearing us out. And that's one thing. Cam Cameron didn't come in and go, look, we're 1-15 with you, Keith, and Joey. We can be 1-15 without you, so you guys can just get cut. I don't need you guys around. He didn't have the ability. He didn't have it in him to do that.
All righty, so we talked a lot about the Miami Dolphins today, whether Defo, myself, and we welcomed on longtime NFL insider guy that covered the Dolphins for years down here. He's been on major outlets. He's an author, best-selling author. He is a screenwriter, and now he's also writing for a national outlet, Outkick.com. Jason Cole, who covers the NFL as well as anyone, has sources as well as anyone, breaks news, also analyzes the game really as well as anyone. We love talking to him. He knows the Dolphins. He is intrigued by the Dolphins. He thinks this weekend should not be an issue for the Dolphins, but is not sold on Tua at all. Does think the pieces, like I do surround Tua really well. He's just curious. Yeah, we've heard all about Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel seems fun. Great interview. Young, innovative guy who also knows the game, but he has faced adversity, and the South Florida adversity can come fast, can come loud, and can come crazy from the fans. I am one of those fans. My Florida State Seminoles were dominating a game. They did win that game, but in between that, they did everything they could to lose it. Believe me, it was a win that I was weirdly not happy about until days later. So I know that as well as anyone. I am a South Florida fan through and through. Defo's made fun of me for being a negative fan. Right now, we love Mike McDaniel. We'll see how we feel about him and how he reacts. If there's any issues, we will talk a lot about the Miami Dolphins going forward. Check us out tomorrow morning, 7 to 9. The Defo Show with Lubie, South Florida Live. Just go to Google, South Florida Live. Go to YouTube, South Florida Live. Google The Defo Show with Lubie or YouTube, The Defo Show with Lubie. Check us out every morning, live, 7 to 9. Also, our national podcast. I've had a lot of fun things going on there. The Believe Network, BLEAV.com. Search After Hours. And most days, our South Florida content right here, The Defo Show with Lubie, on the 5 Reasons Sports Network.
Play the ponies in style at Champions, the outstanding simulcasting room at beautiful Hialeah Park. Yes, the grand old lady of thoroughbred racing has never been more vibrant, and you can wager on the races from the top tracks around the country while enjoying a cocktail at the Brass Rail Bar or any of the fine food served throughout the facility. If poker is your game, you're covered in style, and you can play all your favorite Vegas-style games, including blackjack, craps, and roulette, in Hialeah Park's sizzling hot casino. Get a player's card when you walk through the door for all kinds of generous amenities, including our favorite, free play, when you come out to the ultimate casino and entertainment destination, Hialeah Park.
These days, we're all looking for comfort anywhere we can find it. Thank goodness for Landlubbers Raw Bar and Grill in Plantation, because they are making sure you are as comfortable as possible. First of all, they're not only open for delivery and pickup. All you have to do is go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both pickup and free delivery. You're going to have the best wings in the world. You're going to have a great burger. You're going to have their amazing soups. Again, Landlubbers, Raw Bar and Grill. It's nice and easy. Just go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both your pickup and free delivery. Thank goodness for Landlubbers for making you always feel right at home.